Here's what you need to think about when you are ready to sell your home. There are several points that are important. Pricing, no question, that's an important aspect. And when one is pricing their property, it shouldn't be based upon how much money they need in which to make their move. It needs to be based upon what will the market bear? What are the values of this time? But you need to be critical. When you're selling your property, you need to look at your home through the eyes of being a buyer. And sometimes bringing in your most insulting friend and having them walk through can be a very good thing to do. But you need to start outside. You need to start at your sidewalk. And if your sidewalk has leaves all over and it's not clean or it's whatever, and coming up into your yard, take the time, edge your yard, cut the grass, get rid of the weeds that are there, put a few plants on. And as you enter into your property, wash your windows. Washing your windows can make a huge difference. Washing your light pole outside. These are not items that cost money. They take your time, but they do make a difference. When somebody walks onto your porch, it needs to be clean. The windows need to be washed. The cobwebs need to be gone. Take the time. Wash your mailbox. Do the little things there. And then as you enter your property, you need to literally go room by room, wall by wall. And you need to start looking at, well, if I'm moving and if I'm not going to take these items, well then let's get them out of here. Maybe you need to rent a storage locker. Maybe you need to throw some things out. Maybe you need to have the hauler come. If you're going to be leaving things to other family members, give them away now before we start showing the homes. Open up the rooms. Allow there to be space in there. Declutter. I cannot tell you how many times I have decluttered my house, and I still need to keep decluttering my house. But in selling, people need to be able to walk in and be able to envision themselves. So again, empty them out, not completely. An empty house doesn't have the same feel as a property that's occupied. An empty house will appear smaller in size than it is. So having furniture, having some pictures, having some personal feel to it is very important. But also look, is your paint peeling? Do you have cobwebs? Is it dirty? Do you have a stack of newspapers? Do they need to go away? Do you have a whole bunch of shoes piled up there? Do you have too many coats there? As you go room by room through, you need to also smell your house. And when I say smell your house, you need to open your closets. Do your closets smell? If they do, you need to clean them. Again, this doesn't cost money. It does take your time. But when you say, how do I get the most money? Well, how you get the most money is you have to make your property appealing. We all get comfortable in our homes and we all think that, we no longer see it. If you go away on vacation for several weeks and you come back, you see all the flaws. So you need to look at your home through that kind of a lens. So again, wash the windows, clean the house, declutter it, get rid of the odors. As I said, if your closets smell, clean them out. Clean your closet so when somebody opens it, everything isn't falling down and hurting somebody because it's falling off the shelves. Then it's time to go to the basement. The basement is a place where we like to shut the door and forget that it even exists. However, your buyers are not going to forget it. And so the moment you open the basement door, start to look at the walls. Maybe they need a fresh coat of paint. Maybe you need to paint the stairs. Do you need to get brighter light bulbs in there? Do you need to get the hauler in there? Again, these buyers are not going to accept your items. So those old tires that are down there, get rid of them. Get rid of all of that stuff. The stuff that maybe your children have left behind, get rid of it. So again, in selling your property, there's a couple of key things. One, as I said, you've got to price it right. Two, you got to clean it. You got to get rid of the odors in there. But lastly, you got to make your home accessible. I find lately more and more it's more difficult to get into somebody's home. I'm hearing, well, this interferes with this person's schedule or this interferes with that schedule. You have to understand your buyers have a schedule as well. You have a window where you're trying to get the maximum dollar. You may have an out-of-town buyer that is only going to be here for 2 hours, and maybe that 2 hours is when you have a family member that's napping. And maybe you need to not have your family member nap at that time or go someplace else. But getting into the property, you have got to allow it to be shown even when it's not the most convenient time for you.